Null Knives, baby. What is going on? Carter here with Edge Mindset, a friend of the channel, Mr. Ian. No, actually, his first name's Ian. I don't know why I said Mr. Ian. He sent me this knife to check out. Thank you so much, sir. I'll link his Instagram in the description if you want to seek him out, say hi, be friends with him. He's a super cool guy. He sent me a few different knives, including this Arcona Baron that I've done videos on. I've got to get his stuff back to him, actually. I'm sending him back today. But before I do, I wanted to feature this knife. Now, this is not a new release, right? This is not the latest, greatest from Null Knives. However, it is the first Null knife I've ever handled. And I got to say, I am quite impressed with the design, build quality, everything involved. This is the Raikou number 228, 5124. It's actually newer release than I thought when I got it. I thought this was a much older model, but very cool. Belt satin. Hardware. Can anybody tell me what this says? It looks like cetoid. From what I understand, the hardware is zirconium. So I don't know what cetoid means. If anybody can shed some light in that, that would be awesome down in the comments. And while we're talking about comments, please like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out. Gives me the warm fuzzies to keep doing content, right? That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me alive. So do it if you can. Really appreciate it. Helps a lot. Okay, this is awesome. This is really awesome. I get it. I get why people like Null Knives. This is one of the better micro brands, if we want to use like wristwatch terms, that I've experienced, right? So US-based companies, US-based designers that are outsourcing their work to usually China for manufacture. There's a bunch of them. They're a dime a dozen. They're all over the place. People are popping up all the time, trying to throw their hat into the ring. This is one that I always interpreted as being a little bit more liked than others, I guess, or respected than others. However, I didn't know if that was for legitimate reasons or just, because people tend to gravitate towards certain things and you don't always know why until I experienced this one. And I got to say, it is really, really nice. This is rocking S90V steel blade. Nice flat grind here with the beautiful grind lines. I'm not sure who the OEM on Null Knives is. So anybody knows that information, comment down below. A lot of cool details. We've got this swedge up at the top that matches those grind lines. Nice Wharncliffe sheep's foot reverse tanto blade. Those three, man. We need to just come up with a single word that's just easier for all three of those. I always get confused on what classifies as what, especially the reverse tanto. I mean, that one's like, I don't know. I don't know if half the people in the knife community know exactly what a reverse tanto is. I kid. I know they are. They're going to be chiming down below. They're going to be saying, you idiot. Everybody knows that. Just not you. I know that's the comment I'm going to get. That's fine. Comment that as well if you want to. But yeah, beautiful flat edge right here. Nice and thin behind the edge. Really good length. Let's do some specs. Let's do some specs on this thing. In case you're wondering how big it is, even though I'm sure you can get a general idea based on my hands. 3.5 inches overall, just under 8 inches. Really good size point for general EDC, general use. If we're looking at weight on this bad boy, I'm going to guess, let's play guess the weight. I'm going to say this is 4.8 ounces. Oh my gosh, I was way off. Really? It's under 4? Under 4 ounces. That's impressive for a titanium knife with zirconium accents, and we're talking quite a bit. Pocket clip, backspacer, thumb studs, pivot, I think, are zirconium. Zirconium's pretty heavy, so that's very impressive. It must have some heavy-duty lightning going on there. Let's get back to this blade, S90V. I think I already said that. If I didn't, there it is. Big sharpening choil. I like it. Gives you lots of real estate when you're sharpening this thing. Also kind of moves the edge away from this thumb stud so that you're not hitting it when you're trying to sharpen it, which is always good. And it also puts this edge in a more clear path so that you're not hitting the thumb stud when you're cutting. You do have a little bit of overlap, but not too bad. Not too bad. And then you've got over 3 inches of just pure flat grind cutting capability, which is very cool as well. Nice tip right there. Delicate tip. You can do some detail work, do some pull cuts, very, very nice. And it looks good. It's got this milling pocket right here. Doesn't really serve a functional purpose because the thumb studs are placed so well for reverse flicking and thumb flicking. But you can technically flick it open with that fuller. You just don't get as much leverage. So I'm considering that a design feature. And it also reduces a little bit of the weight on the blade there. But it gives you a tri-finish type thing, right? You have the belt satin, you have the machine satin, or whatever you want to call it. 2 different types of satin on the flats and then the grinds. And then you've got like a blasted inside that little fuller relief there, which is very, very cool. Got some jimping on the back. It's not that great. It's not complete garbage, but it could be a lot grippier. That is one gripe I have with this knife. I have that with a lot of knives though. Like I like a lot of jimping grip. I know some people don't. They feel it's too aggressive, tears up their thumb. To me, this one isn't quite enough. You can front flip this, just not well, or at least I can't. Like I barely get it. So I wouldn't consider this a front flipper. It's just not quite set up for it. But your results may vary. Maybe you'll be able to do it better than me. Zirconium studs that look sexy as hell. Very custom looking, right? They don't look like they came right out of knifesupply.com. You know, order some studs, throw them in there. So very, very cool. These ones are in zirconium. I love that shiny black look of them. Same with the pivot here. Nice custom pivot with a cool knurled and kind of a concave thing going on inside there. And I believe this is zirconium as well. I'm really struggling not to say zircutai. I'm so used to when I say I want to follow it with kutai. So that's why I'm hesitating, because I'm like, no, zirconium, not zircutai. No titanium in this, or at least not in the zircutai parts. The handles, however, are titanium. PVD finish on there, heavily lightened, as you can tell by the weight. Bronze hardware, I don't really agree with that. Kind of, I don't know. But I'm not much of a pop of color guy. If you've watched my channel, you know that I usually do not like it when there's like a pop of color. I like it more, I like monochromatic knives a lot, but if there is color, I like it to be more distributed all over. I don't really love it when the pivot is like blue, or in this case, just the body screws are bronze. Just not for me. I wish those were black. But that's, you know, it's like my opinion, man. We've got a insert that's done pretty cool. At least I think, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on here. Let's be honest. I hardly ever know what's happening. It has a lock bar insert, but then it's got this kind of ledge right there. And maybe that's just a design feature so that it flows through up there. Or is that part of the lock bar insert? I don't think it is. I think that's just milled into the lock bar. And it's just a little design feature to have this line kind of carry through up to here. Interesting. When I first saw that, I thought it was part of that lock bar insert. Like they cut off half of it and this piece went all the way around as some sort of ultra stability type maneuver. But I don't think that's the case, because you can see the line right there of the lock bar insert. So interesting. Chamfered on the inside of this lock bar relief. You have plenty of room to get your thumb in there. And look at the texture that they put on there. What a nice touch. One of my pet peeves is when you go to unlock a frame lock and it feels like your thumb either doesn't fit in the relief right here because they didn't chamfer anything, or it feels like you're going to slide off of that. So very nice touch to put that texturing in there. If anything, I would have liked it to be a little more aggressive, but still, bravo, A for effort, great job. Zirconium backspacer with kind of a fat gear pattern right there. Goes up about halfway-ish, which is cool. So a little bit of flow through, but then it's also nice and stable. Kind of flows really well, looks cool. And that zirconium, the kind of more matte PVD against the shinier zirconium, really nice. I really, really like that. Pocket clip's good. Good retention. Once again, zirconium, look and fly. Lots of design stuff. You got chamfered edges right here. The whole thing kind of just works. And it works pretty well. I don't love the logo being in there, but I guess they're like, we got to put the logo somewhere on the knife. So they chose the relief, which isn't a terrible spot, but it does kind of stick out a little bit. And for me, you know, if you're kind of buying these micro brands, these design first knives, Those kind of things matter, and having a completely sterile knife, in my opinion, is really, really cool. I get why you wouldn't want to do that, because you show pictures of it and people don't automatically know what it is, so I know why they want to put their logo on there, but it would have been cool if this was just pure sterile. Even the steel marking, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. We've got the card. We know what it's made of. We can put it in text. We can remember that stuff. Make it clean, make it sterile. That's my opinion. You may disagree. You'll probably disagree. Ergonomics are good. I mean, they're fine. They're definitely not bad. No hot spots. It feels comfortable. You kind of get your 2 fingers up in this relief right here, and then the rest kind of wraps around in your palm. So very, very good stuff. Thumb up on the jimping here. Overall, just very well executed. Oh, the action. The action is so smooth. Like drop shutty, not just drop shutty, but like you can't feel the bearings at all. Because, you know, a lot of bearing knives, it's like, yes, they drop shut, they're super smooth, you can flick them open like a demon, but you kind of feel the bearings rolling around in there. You get a little bit of chatter, a little bit of feedback in your hand. There is nothing here. Now, I have to caveat that this isn't new from factory. I don't know if somebody's put skiffs in. I don't think so. Ian didn't say anything about putting skiffs in or any aftermarket bearings, but I can't guarantee that nothing's been put in here. And also, this is very well broken in at this point, right? The detent ball has worn in a nice smooth track on the steel at this point. The bearings have all kind of maybe put a little bit of a track in the steel washers. You know, everything's kind of gelled and smooth together, but the action though is so nice on this one, and it flicks so well. The thumb studs are in such a good spot to flick this thing open. Very well done. I get the hype. I get why people like Null knives. It's a really good mix of great features, great quality, and the designs are slick. Some of them are a little much for me, which sounds weird for me to say. That sounds weird for me to say. Like the Voodoo, I almost got in on the Voodoo. It looks really good, but something about it, I don't know. I struggle. So here's how I fit on knives. I either like straight up crazy, futuristic, bonkers, ridiculous gas station knives, kind of like this and crazier, or I like classic, clean, smooth, boring knives. Like this is what I like. I struggle when things fit in the middle for some reason. I just realized that right now. This is real time realization. I struggle with the middle. I either want this or I want crazy. I don't really want what kind of is a mix of the both. And I think that's weird because I think most people prefer this, right? A lot of people say this is too plain, too boring. And then they also say this is too much. It's too out there. It's too wild. And they like this. I'm the opposite. I'm a person of extremes. I either want super simple, basic shapes, clean, flat, or wild, bonkers, insane stuff. I don't know. That's just me. What do you guys think? Comment down below. What do you think of this Raikou? Have you had a chance to handle one? Have you had a chance to check out any other Null knives? Comment down below what you think. And until the next video, I appreciate all of you. Couldn't do without you. Wouldn't want to anyways. Talk to you later. I'm out.